Now, when it comes to finding the right product for ADAS or advanced driver assistance systems, one company has been at it for quite some time, and more recently has introduced some innovative new technologies. So innovative, in fact, that it is now incorporating AI into some of the dash cams to help with driver safety. Today, we're going to be talking about Voxx Electronics products with their product specialist, Dan Bisceglia. This is CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM, all about Voxx ADAS. And it starts now. What's going on, guys, and welcome to another CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu, and you are tuned into CMA Networks, where we talk mobile electronics day in and day out. We've landed on, well, a somewhat new category in driver safety, a very crucial one, especially if you have customers that are looking to enhance their safety. Perhaps their vehicle didn't come with those type of features, or maybe you have access to some fleet or municipal projects. Well, Voxx Electronics comes to the rescue with a whole slew of products. But today we're going to focus on a couple key ones that you need to know about with the help of our good friend Dan. Dan, why don't you break out what our agenda is for today's show?
Yeah, Ben, thanks for having me. Today we're going to talk about some really great safety products that we have available at Voxx. We're going to talk about a new AI-powered dash cam. We're going to talk about a really great GENTEX rear view mirror system. And then we're going to get into some parking sensor solutions that can be used in any vehicle application that comes into your shop.
All right, Dan, thanks so much for being here. But first, an opportunity for our partner, SiriusXM, to remind you why it's always a great attachment sale. And when we come back, we're going to talk some ADAS products with Dan from Voxx. We'll see you after the break.
Hey, Paul here with SiriusXM, and I'd like to talk to you about attachment selling and why the SiriusXM product is one of the best things to add, especially since we don't trade dollars with any other category. I could go through all of this, but let's hear what some of our dealers have to say.
It's an easy add-on that takes, 10, 15 minutes if we're running an antenna, 1 minute if we've got an adapter to plug it into the factory SiriusXM antenna, and it's extra money, so no brainer.
I present it to every customer because a lot of customers don't know what all they can do with Sirius. They don't know what all content they could have. It just makes too much sense not to sell it.
It creates a different customer loyalty and customer security when you explain to them why it's a better experience. Just gets them back in the door. And then the next car, they're already asking for it again. So it just keeps selling itself. It makes more sense.
Well, there you have it. You heard from our dealers. Just remember some of the best practices. Make sure you have one on display so you can demo it. Make sure you're taking advantage of our rewards program, because if you're not taking advantage of that, you're leaving even more money on the table. Make sure you got our POP up on display. And other than that, just make sure you're recommending it.
And welcome back to the show, Dan. Thank you so much for being here. You know, when it comes to ADAS, you're actually, you might not know this, but you were the person that actually introduced me to this category when I didn't even know what ADAS stood for. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Because you're Mr. ADAS, just your code name, Mr. ADAS. And you're the right person to be here. We've got some cool products. And I'm going to start right from the beginning, because you dropped some bombs there in your little intro. Did I hear right that AI is somehow incorporated into this new dash cam we'll be talking about? Like, where did that come about, and what's the story behind that, before we even talk about the actual camera itself?
Yeah, so we were looking at some new products that we wanted to introduce into the marketplace, a new category for Voxx, which was dash cams. And the hard part about the dash cam market is there seems to be a dash cam everywhere. You can find them on Amazon, you can find them in every store. So we wanted to do something that was a little bit different than what everybody else was doing. And that's when we came across an AI-powered dash cam that monitors the video in real time and gives us safety feedback, so we know if we're going to be in a collision or if there's a pedestrian walking out in front of us. And it really makes driving safer.
Well, I love the talking point from the get-go, because as a salesperson on the floor, you have a customer in front of you, they're interested in dash cams. I mean, let's be honest, AI is kind of like a hot word right now, but I'm curious about what the actual application is. So why don't I pass it over to you? I'm sure you have one of these. By the way, guys, just so you know, this is the AI dash cam ACADC5. Dan, take it away. Talk to us a little bit about what the features are and how AI truly is improving safer driving.
Yeah, so AI is infiltrating our lives everywhere we look. It's making our jobs easier, but now it can actually make our driving safer. The AI system is always monitoring the front and rear camera inputs of this DVR system. And it's giving us real-time feedback about the objects that are around us, whether they're cars or pedestrians. And it brings our focus back to the road. So anytime it detects a collision warning or a pedestrian warning, it's going to give us a notification, and it's going to display right on the screen what that warning is. And one of the really cool features is that it's monitoring that rear camera video for rear camera collision warning, but also blind spot detection. It's going to know when a vehicle is in your blind spot, and it's going to give you a warning via the little LED light here at the bottom. That LED light, just like a blind spot system based on radar sensors, is going to be on whenever a vehicle is in your blind spot. And then as you get closer to that vehicle, it's going to give you the audible warning and the on-screen display to let you know you're getting a little too close.
All right, so let me get this right. This is kind of like a smart dash cam, because what it's doing is that it consistently or non-stop kind of processing the data through the image of the video that it's getting. So walk us through a little bit about how real-time this is and what the direct result is for the end user.
Yeah, so the AI system is monitoring the video feeds in real time. So now whenever there's a collision detected or an imminent collision, it's going to give us a real-time notification, bringing our focus back to the road. So this system is working whether we're paying attention or not. So even when we're distracted by other passengers in the vehicle, or maybe other vehicles or people around us while we're driving, the AI system is always monitoring in real time to give you real notifications before something happens. That way we can try and prevent a collision or try and prevent an injury while we're driving.
Now, obviously, Dan, the people at Voxx, yourself included, when it came to product planning, you want to make sure you check off all the boxes. This AI element is absolutely cool, but let's make sure that people understand that this is a very capable dash cam that really does check all the boxes as far as features.
Yeah, that's right. I like to say this dash cam is a lot like all the other dash cams on the market. It records the front video in 4K, it records the rear video in 1080p, and it records those videos right onto an SD card. We include a 64 gigabyte SD card in the box, and it does those recordings in 3 different modes, just like every other dash cam. It has loop recording, event recording, and we even include a parking mode when using an optional hardwired harness kit.
All right, guys, so you just heard from Dan that the new ACADC5 dash cam with AI is now available. Pretty cool stuff. Thank you for talking to us about that. The next item on our list of cool product today is a mirror. Now, mirror coming to you from GENTEX, obviously a specialty or specialist, I should say, in the mirror category. But this mirror has it all. And I want you to talk to us about this new, I'm not going to say the model number because it is quite lengthy, but basically it's a GENTEX mirror with HOMELINK Connect. Take it away, Dan.
Yeah, that's right. The model number is a mouthful, but the best part about this product is that it is a high quality OEM grade rear view mirror. GENTEX is a company that manufactures 100% of their rear view mirrors in the United States, right in Western Michigan. They have about 90% market share into the OEMs, but not every vehicle is going to include a high quality system like the frameless HOMELINK Connect system. The cool thing about the HOMELINK Connect is that it has the 3 HOMELINK buttons right on the bottom of the mirror that you're probably already familiar with. Those buttons control your garage door or a gate or a commercial garage door using RF technology. HOMELINK Connect integrates those buttons into an app on your phone that can control smart home accessories in your home or in your business. So now when you arrive home from your day, after your day at work, you can press that HOMELINK button. It's going to open your garage door, unlock the front door. It can adjust all the thermostats and control all of those other smart home accessories.
You know, just to dispel any myths about aftermarket mirrors, because I've seen the chatter online, and sometimes there's aftermarket mirrors that people are kind of disappointed with because it's not quite as clear as the original. Yeah, they could be bigger, they might have other features, but you mentioned that GENTEX is a leader in OEM supply for these type of mirrors. So I want to give you an opportunity to kind of express the quality, the visual quality and the performance when it comes to an actual GENTEX mirror.
Yeah, so a lot of those aftermarket mirrors, when you're looking through them or you're looking in at the reflection, sometimes that reflection can be a little wavy or a little hazy, depending on the quality of the glass or the reflective surface. With GENTEX, they're providing high-grade equipment directly to OEMs, and OEMs have the highest quality standards. This aftermarket system from GENTEX has all of those same quality standards. So we're getting very clear glass, we're getting high reflective surfaces. So when we're looking in that mirror, we don't see any waves, we don't see any haze. We're getting a really good picture of what's going on behind us, and that really does make driving safer.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so no question there. All right, so we talked about a really cool dash cam. We talked about a great aftermarket mirror solution. I want to get into some sensors because that's kind of important. It's, a lot of vehicles these days, especially if you don't get into the higher trims, don't have some of these safety features that a lot of people are looking for. I can use my wife as an example. In fact, she won't even take a trim that doesn't have rear parking sensors. We live near a city. She's nervous about parking. She wants to make sure that she never bumps into anybody. So let's first start talking about a rear parking sensor kit that Voxx has that's really easy to install.
One of our newest parking sensor kits is the PSD4 DSP. This is a 4-sensor rear installation parking sensor kit. When vehicles started coming standard with backup cameras, the OEMs started to depopulate parking sensors from the lower trims. Now you can only get it in the higher trim. But sometimes using a backup camera isn't as intuitive as it looks. You're not quite sure, am I close to this object? What about the corners of the bumpers? And ultrasonic parking sensor kits eliminate that confusion. It's going to detect when an object is close, and the closer it gets, it's going to give you a faster tone. It's very easy to use, and it really does make driving and parking safer.
Now, Dan, for those of us who haven't had the experience of installing an aftermarket parking sensor kit, from a user standpoint, how is it like the OEM factory style? How does it notify the driver that it's getting close to an object?
So this kit includes a 3-color display with numerical readout and a built-in speaker. So as you get closer to the object, that display is going to light up green and then yellow and then red to give you a really good indication of how close you are to that object. And then it also gives you that audible tone built right into the display. So as you get closer to the object, that audible tone gets faster.
Okay, so the speed of the tone as well as the colored lights. If you can't figure that out by now, I'm not sure any sensor can help you, to be honest with you. All right, my last question here is, that's great. We have a really cool rear sensor kit. But there are certain vehicles, as you know, from factory that have both rear and front parking sensors. So what solutions does Voxx have that could maybe do both?
The PSD4FR is a parking sensor kit with 4 sensors, and it has the flexibility of being able to be installed on the rear of the vehicle or the front of the vehicle. Now you can have one kit in stock that can be used for any application from a customer that comes through your door. This system can be installed on a vehicle with plastic bumpers, and it can be installed on a vehicle with metal bumpers. It includes that 3-color display that we talked about on the previous kit, but it also includes a single speaker. Some customers like the visual display, some don't. Now you have the flexibility to give the notification that the customer prefers, visual or audio only.
Well, it begs the question, though, what is it about this particular system that allows it to have that functionality to be either used for front or rear detection?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So with this kit, it has software built into it that has an auto mute function. Whenever the vehicle is on, the front parking sensor is on as well. So if we pull into a parking spot and we don't turn the vehicle off, if we didn't have that software built in, you would just get a continuous beep, and it would be really annoying. So now as you pull into that parking spot, when it detects an object and the distance to that object hasn't changed for 3 seconds, then we auto mute those alerts and we just assume that you're parked. If the distance changes, whether you get closer or farther away, those audible alerts continue again so that you can know how close you are to an object as it moves around the vehicle.
All right, Dan, thank you for making the distinction. Totally makes sense because the way that you set it up, obviously you've tested it, and this makes sense to be able to either do the front or rear setup for this parking sensor. Just to close out this conversation, are there any accessories or any add-ons that we need to know about when it comes to this particular kit?
Yeah, we do have an optional accessory for this kit. It's the PSD GPS. It is an optional accessory that includes a GPS antenna and a small push button. The GPS antenna connects to the control module, and it allows the system to turn on and off at speed. That way, while you're driving down the road, you don't get any false warnings from potholes or other vehicles as you're driving. Also, the push button switch that's included is a really great feature for the cold climates. Sometimes as you're driving, you get ice or snow buildup on the front bumper, and that switch allows you to bypass the system so that you don't get those false warnings from the snow or ice buildup.
I'd like to take this opportunity and thank our guest, Daniel Bisceglia, for joining us and giving us some details on some new Voxx ADAS products. Now, if you want more information, more details, more features, maybe some more specs, make sure you head on over to the website voxelectronics.com and you find out more info on every product and more that we discussed on today's show. Now, when it comes to ADAS, if you don't know what it is by now, man, I don't know what to tell you. This is one of those things that it is totally up to you as a dealer to communicate that these type of products are available for the customer. I can't emphasize this enough. Inherently, customers don't realize that some of these awesome features like their parking sensors and aftermarket mirrors actually exist. In fact, they think that if they didn't choose it at the point of buying their car, then it's over. There's no other options. Of course, this is not true because look at the selection, whether it's the GENTEX mirrors or parking sensors, or if they want a dash cam and really improve the safety of their vehicle, you, the store, have a responsibility to educate the customer and letting them know these type of products are available. Because more often than not, when they find out it's an actual option, guess what? You've got the sale, you've got the install, you have a happy customer. That's it for this CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.